All right. Hello, everyone. We should be sorted. Just give me a few seconds just to change a few things around here, just to make sure we are up and running. Okay. Um, should be up and running. Hopefully. It's like it sort of wants to. Okay. Let's make sure everything is 100% before we get into this. Do bear with me for a minute or so, just while I make sure I've got everything up and running here. That way we're 100% before we keep going here. So just give me a couple of minutes and I will just double check this. Okay, it seems like we are running pretty good now. So um, just bring up some of this other stuff for me, just to help give me a little bit of space here. Okay. Right. Yeah, okay. Well, let's get into it. Um, just get Bonal has all of this stuff. Do bear with me. I'm still learning a little bit about this, but we should be set up now. And you guys should be able to see everything. We'll get everything unpaused. It might just give it a minute just to sort itself out here. But we should be ready to go here. All right. So in our last episode, what did we do? We actually built our new air filter system here. So that's definitely helping out a bit. We can see that our CO2 now is currently full. So just pause it real quick and we'll uh, grab ourselves a pipe balancer for there. So I think that's on the ground. It is. We can. Oh, that's going to remove itself. Perfect. We'll chuck in a pipe balancer just there. We'll get that both quick built. And we're going to put in a system for a smokestack here. Run this next to it, and we're going to say to always keep this as the priority out. Get out of planning mode here, and we'll get that built real quick. Okay, that should now be releasing um, excess CO2, which is going to do a little bit of harm, but not as much as what we were hitting. Um, so we should be all right there. Now, hey mate, how you going? Welcome to the stream here. Do let me know how everything is. If I need to change any audio levels, feel free to leave that in the chat box so I can see it. Alright, so make sure this is now constantly running. We're constantly putting out our CO2 here. Hopefully that keeps things moving. We can see we're full on medium oil. We're full on our light oil as well. Okay, so let's have a little look. So we've got a little bit of coal here. Actually, what we need to do is sort out this system here. So we need to get this stuff out of here. The only way to do that, I think, is to destroy it like so. And I think that's going to fill up our... Yep, that definitely filled up all of that. And we're going to change this around a bit. So we're going to have these as coal. We're going to assign the contract for that sulfur there. Where did that deal actually go? Is the question here. Yeah, where did that actually go? There, it's right there, right in front of me. So we can assign that to there. We can quicker build these. We can also grab a, what do you call it? A loose storage tier 3 there. And we can assign the contract to this. And that has been assigned to all of them. And now our boat's going out. That should work a lot better than what the system we had was. Because yeah, it wasn't working for us originally. So that should help keep our sulfur levels down, even though we are filling up fairly quickly here, and especially with using this now, we are also building a lot more. Let's look at our health here. It has gone up to 4.6 with our air pollution. Now it's not the end of the world. It is a lot better than what we were sitting at before. And we are doing a bit of research for that, which is the vehicles pollution. We can't really do much else about the other pollution, but solar panels is definitely something I do want to look at. Right, so let's see, our trains are still constantly running here. So this train's going to fill up. Who's going to get the priority? He's going to get the priority. Get him out of there. See, another train's coming in. We've got another train of rock heading over. It looks like we're still filling this up fairly well. In fact, there goes our big train there. How's it going, Cringe Hawkeye? It's going pretty good, mate. Welcome to the stream. Sorry, I only just seen your message then. Yeah, welcome. How's the audio level? So I need to change anything? Because yeah, last stream there was no audio besides the game audio, so do let me know. But welcome, man. We are deconstructing all this because we are going to be doing a little bit of a change here with the whole infrastructure of that. So that's going to be deconstructed. Trains are moving pretty good at the moment, but we do need to redo this a little bit because this is extremely rough here. And we also need to get our faster belts. So faster belts unlock just here, and in order to get those we need to get our electronics tier 2 going. So we need to do some designing here. So we're actually going to set up a refinery that works with this. So instead of running this anymore, because theoretically it would work, but it's also going to be very clustered. Um, as much as I do like these things running really smooth, it's probably going to be a little bit of a issue. Now, with all of that, yeah, so we're going to set up a new rail system. It's going to come off of this line here, I think, or actually we might come off this line and build it over here somewhere. So once I have done a bit of clearing on the other side here, so way over there, once we've done a bit of clearing there, we're actually going to get some excavators over here to start flattening out this land here. Because if we flatten this out, that will give us a lot of space that we could use. Now, what we have to do is change this a little bit. So, need to get a bit more throughput because we're not getting rock out quick enough. Now, that could be part of the issue with the trains. We can see they're filling up fairly quickly. And he's full, ready to go. But we also have our next train coming in straight away. So, yeah. Okay. Give me just a second here. I'm just going to check, make sure that there is definitely audio going through my stream. I just want to make sure in case there isn't. The last thing I want is to be another whole thing of exactly what happened earlier when I tried streaming. So give me just a hot minute just to check this out. Okay, so I had a look. We're all good. Okay, so we have taken a massive chunk out of this mountain, which is good, which means we have more room to add more stuff into here for our train system, so we can actually loop it around and then go back. Oh, so many plans, but so many things need doing, but so many things that are so far away that need doing. We are almost out of coal. We're really not too far away from it. So that could be a little bit interesting there. We can also set up our contract here for the coal. So let's go ahead and do we really need to? Because we seem to be full of coal here at the moment, and our boat should be on its way back very shortly. Let's have a look at our pollution. Our pollution is not too bad for air. Now we still have a little bit of water pollution, so I'm not 100% sure. That would actually be from here. That'd be from there, and where else would it be? I think that's literally it. It's just there that's causing that water pollution, because that is just brine that's going out of there. So yeah, that would be the only thing that's causing our pollution. So we can have a look at some more waste management here. We've got some waste treatment plants. Now that deals with the slurry. We need sand, or we can use some filter media and some chlorine. Now chlorine's really easy to make. Chlorine is just using brine, so we can make something up here really quick. What we will need is the electrolyzer. That's what we need. So everything goes in this way. We'll create two of them side by side, and we'll select both of the recipes. They're going to be for both chlorine. We'll get both of these just quick built, We are running out of Unity though. Um, why is that? Oh, we are going back up again. Interesting. Okay. So the oil rigs obviously are using some, the contract's using some, the research lab is also using some. Oh, we can see our ship pollution and we have a disease at the moment. That is why, because we have that disease. There's not much we can do about that just yet. So let's go ahead and we want to pinch off the storage off all the main line. Let's pinch off the main line here. Actually, no, we'll pinch off the storage. We can go probably straight across here. Build it up high here. And nope, that's definitely not what I wanted. So let's try that again. So that's in line there. We can put that there and then connect that up. There we go. Nice and clean. We can go ahead and connect that one up to... we go the other side? We absolutely can go the other side of there. And we're also going to have to upgrade this pipe as well because we're going to be taking a lot more out of it. Alright. Welcome everyone to the stream. Hopefully all you guys are doing well. Okay, so now we've got these set up. We can go ahead and grab a large fluid storage there because that fits perfectly. So now we've got the chlorine. Now to make the filter media, we need gravel, manufactured sand, and coal. Make that. What is the difference we get really in that? Looks like we use less, or we get more water out of it, actually. More water and more sludge. Sludge can be turned into compost, I think, if I'm correct. We can burn it, or we can make, fuel gas and compost, and then compost can actually turn into the organic fertilizer. We can also use it to make dirt as well, if we wanted to do that. Okay, so we've got that being made. So we've got plenty of chlorine there. Let's go ahead and start making this in this area here. So we'll grab our filter treatment plant. Now the way everything goes in and out is going to be a bit interesting. So we can tuck that into there. You can see our chlorine needs to go in here. So let's go ahead and just plug that in like so. Perfect. And we need to make that filter media, so we'll grab a couple of things here just to make that. In fact, what do we need to make that filter media? We need coal, manufactured sand, and gravel. Now we probably could use some sand. Actually, we probably could not because our excavator has completely finished all of this sand. So let's go in for some bigger chunks here. Now we are going to mine a little bit of stone there, but that is perfectly fine. Try and get as much sand as we absolutely can. In fact, what we will do is we will scrap that whole idea there. And if we have a look here, sand goes down, so we can literally just go down a few layers here, like so. We'll run a nice big line straight across here. This should take him a little bit of time to get through, and we can give him all of that stuff there as well. That shouldn't be an issue. It should keep things going. So it is going to have a little bit of stuff. We've got 2 trucks on there, so hopefully that sorts that out. Now, our manufactured sand. Where are we making that? We're making that here. We're going to say trucks can export that, which I believe they can get into there to be able to export that. Well, they should be. They can actually get around here. Now let's have a look here as well. Actually, a lot of our dirt's going over here, isn't it? So yeah, they're almost done expanding that out, which is pretty good. Now, what we can also do is, yeah, let's actually keep going with this before we start another project here. Alright, so to make our filter media, so that is the recipe we're going to choose. To make our filter media, we need the gravel, we need manufactured sand, and we need coal. So let's go ahead and just set a couple of these up. So we need sand. No, manufactured sand actually. Manufactured sand. We need coal. And we need gravel. We'll say to keep all of these half full. We'll just quick build a couple of these just to make sure that they are 100% ready to go. And to make sure that they can take the gravel from here. We'll let that happen as well, which we should see that happening in just a second here. Maybe a bit longer. We'd see they're taking the manufactured sand straight away, so it's only going to be a short time until they do try to take that. They've already dropped the coal off, which is good. They're actually going to go fill it right up. We can see the gravel is being filled up as well. Now, I don't know where exactly he got that gravel from, unless he was already over here ready to go, which could have been the case. There we go, they're going to pick up that gravel there. They are really hooking into that. Oh, we've got gravel right there, so let's turn that one off. And let's let them only take from there. Let's not get them to take from there. I didn't realise I already had one set up for them. Okay, now to make that we need a mixer, so we're going to use a tier 2 mixer for that. Face this one sideways here. And we can start hooking up our lines like so. We'll go 2 ahead just to make sure that if we do want to take other resources from here, we have the access to get them to lift that stuff up. Alright. So that will make our media filters, or our filter medias, sorry. We can chuck this just in there. And what we will do is we'll run a U-shaped lift. And we'll run one just over here. That way they should theoretically be able to get through there still. They should still leave access in there for them. Anyway, we'll just go ahead and quick build some of this stuff. Okay. We got one more in here. We'll just quick build that one as well. And that should be bringing the last thing in here. We're just going to boost that just to make it a little bit quicker. Um, do I want to run a line all the way to there? I mean, it probably doesn't hurt. So let's flip that around, run it all the way as high as we can, and we'll do the same thing just over here. And let's start running this across here. So if we try to leave the gap in between there so they can still get access, which they can, we should theoretically be able to run straight over the top of that and in beside all of this stuff here, so we're not causing too much of a issue. That's going to be an issue if we want to expand, so let's just bring it back just a touch. In fact, you know what, let's just cut straight over here. I don't know if it's going to make that. It actually will, surprisingly. So we can run that like so. That is our media filter. Now we just literally need our slurry to come into here. So before I do that, let's see, we do 116. This takes 160 per minute. So this will be fine to run. Okay, so let's go ahead and just destroy all of that. We can go ahead and connect something onto there, run it straight across and straight into there. We'll get that quick built, that way we don't have issues with backing up because it's about to back up there. Okay. Beautiful. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Let me know how it is. Okay, so we've just made our wastewater treatment. So we're now going to have water come out of that as well as sludge. So the water we could probably feed into yeah, we're gonna have to set up a balancer here or something just to make sure we get use of that water, because we're gonna have 120 water, and how much are we consuming? 139. Look, I don't see why we can't get this to run. Let's go ahead and just plug that into there, because we are about to fill that up to max. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to pull this apart real quick. And quickly unpause. Hopefully, there we go. And we're going to build a big fluid tank here. It's not going to connect up as nice as I want it to, but it will connect up as best as it will. That way we can keep the system clear, because we're about to have an issue with it backing up. Hopefully we can get it out. Perfect, just in the brink of time. Alright, so let's plug that straight into there. Okay, now we've got to get that water out quicker, because that water is really not moving at all. So let's just upgrade that. And let's just quickly remove those pieces and see if we can chuck a pipe balance in all the way up there. We absolutely can. Okay. That works. We're going to say that's the priority in now. That should sort out the water problem there. Now for the sludge. It's going to get a little bit tight here, I think. Now we can block that off because we don't really need access to that. And we can make this a stockpile, because we're not really going to be using that much of it. Unless we're making dirt, which is probably going to be a pretty big thing. So that should now be working. And having that is like a buffer, so for whatever reasons, if this does stop, it's not going to be the end of the world, because we do have that buffer there. But that does definitely allow it to keep on going here. That should be our next system of filtration. If we have a look, we still have water pollution somewhere. Where is that said water pollution? And why are we about to run out of water here? Because we've got no steam. We got no steam because we've got... Oh, we're fully backlogged here. Because you just have nowhere to put slag. Well, that manufactured sand's pretty empty. Okay then. We have no glass, which is actually slowly building up. As we collect more sand, you can see our sand's now at 100%, which is good. But slag, why are we not dumping slag anywhere? Probably because we're trying to use it. So let's just get them to dump it there. And we have no maintenance, I've just noticed. So let's have a look why that is. Alright, so we have no maintenance because we have no mechanical parts. We have no mechanical parts because we have no iron, and we have no... Okay, what is actually going on here? The filtration system, I'm going to say. Yep, the filtration system has stopped us. Okay, so that's been emptied now. That should sort that out. We should be right to keep going now. I'm just thinking maybe it might be worth building a second one of these. What's the throughput on this? 450. Okay, let's go up here and have a look if everything's running again. Yes and no. They are definitely starting to. There we go. Yeah, everything's starting to kick into action now. But yeah, that should be constantly running. Yeah, we just literally need some faster belts for that. We can see we're definitely chopping through our sulfur, which is good. Our coal is well and truly stocked up here, which is another good thing. Okay, so we also have no chairs being made. Okay. Alright. Things are stopping now because we have no maintenance, but that maintenance should be building up now. Slowly. Very slowly. Yeah, between the iron and the steel coming over, which you can see it's slowly moving along there. Still waiting because of the exhaust gas. Okay. We need to definitely try to make a push for these new pipes and stuff. Or we need to look at putting a secondary exhaust system over here somewhere. which I think that might be a better alternative. Because, yeah, we can see that is chock-a-block full. We can't get that to go any faster, which has then got to go through all these other ones as well. Now, does this filter system have two inputs? Now it does. So we could actually go over here and set up a secondary input here. Now this is going to be a little bit tricky to try and get, but we will definitely give it a go. So, oh, we almost had it. There we go. We're just going to run this up above here. And we are probably... What's the max? We're at the max. Okay, so we're not going to be able to run it there at all because they're all in a line. Doesn't mean we can't run it down here somewhere. And hopefully once we get this secondary line in, we're going up and over everything here, are we? Okay. Yep, you can go under that, then we'll go over the top of we can go to here, and then we'll run it to the end here, and we're going to try to keep all of our pillars here in line. That way we don't have any issues if traffic wants to get through, even though we have a bit of a system that's not working there, obviously, because those pillars are not in line. That is fine. Okay, so let's... This is where it's probably going to get a little bit interesting. If we can just jump over all of that and run it down the side here. We do go over that bridge, under that bridge, but I don't think there's any free space left. No, we've got those completely sorted. But we do have those new modular bridges. That could be a idea. But we can also just run, in fact, across all of this stuff just here. No thank you, do not hook into that. In fact, go down one and go under all of that. Let's try to go over the top of all of this. Yeah, I guess we can go down one. Then we're going to have an issue here. No, we don't. So this is where we go down again. Down one more. And we just follow this line all the way back as far as we can go. There we go. Okay. And then we run it to there. We come out and we go up. There we go. Alright. Doesn't really matter so much here. But maybe here we can probably go... Oh, definitely not like that. We can put a corner piece in here. And let's see if we can run under this majority of the way here. So far it is looking okay. You know what? Let's just jump over this side and go ahead and connect that up to there. Now that should hopefully help us out. We're going to put a little bit of a pause on our research because that is consuming way too much here of our Unity. So let's just pause that. What about trains? We've got heaps of them. Um, okay. So that should hopefully help with that filter system. Hopefully being the key word there. There we go. It's just been finished. I'm not seeing anything running on it at all. That is because we have no coal, and that's because everyone's run out of coal. Okay, so we're going to allow the logistics there, but that's not going to be going into there. So we need to start. Actually, what is going on here? We've got guys not mining up there, so let's just actually, what are they doing? What tower is that? That's that tower. Let's edit this area. They should have access to mine there. Wonder why they don't. Oh, I see. Okay. Well, we can fix that up because for some reason it wanted to go down a level. I am not interested in going down another level. That should sort out that. Okay, there goes our excavators. We've done a nice job clearing this. We'll clear this out a little bit later. But we've also found the other side of the mountain here. Okay, so let's see here. Looks like they're all doing a bit of mining down the bottom as well. I guess that's as they were mining, they started dropping a bit of stuff. So let's do a little bit more mining that way. And let's do a bit more mining this way. It doesn't matter, I guess, if we take out this wall now. We do have the backup path there. And we can always make an alternative path if need be. Look at all that coal falling down there. That should definitely get our numbers up. And hopefully help with our maintenance. So there's a lot of iron in there, there's a bit of limestone, a bit of copper. Everything so far is looking good. See, we are producing glass. That line is paused. Why is that line paused? I see, because it's just a looping storage. Okay. That is all that is. It is literally just a looping storage. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll say that's a priority in over this side. And we'll keep it looping around so we can constantly have some stuff there. Now, our Unity. What is the go with that at the moment? Got a lot of boosts. A lot of boosts. So let's stop boosting some of this stuff here. I will keep those boosted. We don't need this boosted anymore. I don't know why we had that boosted so much. That should theoretically get our numbers up a little bit higher. Okay, we can see our sludge is definitely building. We've actually worked through all of our storage on that wastewater. Now we can see all of our food is definitely up and running at its full potential, which is good. Now, because we have that, we don't really need to have all these other shelves here. I just like to keep it as a backup for noticing how many months we have left in our fuel. Let's have a look. Is our maintenance being built up yet? What do we got? We got iron coming in. Got a bit of steel coming in. A bit more iron. So yeah, we're still boosting those. Let's unboost those as well, because we don't need them. There we go. There's our maintenance climbing big time. Or not our maintenance, our Unity. right. You can see we're full on potatoes and everything, which is a good sign here. Um, Taking this out pretty quickly, pretty efficiently too, but our rock has taken a little bit of a hit. That's all right. That's because it would all be over here. And we've actually covered a good chunk of land over here with just rock. So that is really good. Um, is this thing here going to start running? Or is it just waiting? Oh, it's broken now. Okay. Well, it looks like our maintenance is building up now, which is a very good sign. Hopefully between that iron and the other stuff here, we can see our coal's already full, which is good. So hopefully we can keep that going. And we got no steel over here either. So we need to definitely try to build that up. So there for tier 4s, but we don't have our electronics yet. But I reckon before we do that, we definitely need to look at building this refinery, because this is not cutting it anymore. We definitely cannot handle the amount that we do need. How much does that need? It needs 60 or 48 or 24. So 24 steel. Now I don't see why we can't be getting that 24 steel, because there's plenty on this line here. Unless it is currently going somewhere else, which it is. Let's just have a look at this system here. Get rid of that. Priority out is that side there. So it's only literally letting excess out. Now I'm not too worried about making tier 3s, as I do have a lot there. So we're going to change this around a little bit. So we're going to say the priority out is now that top one, and we should see all that steel getting put on this line here. Hopefully that's the plan. Alright. So that should keep it going. But yeah, okay, let's go and start building this refinery, I think. Yeah, so that looks like it is all slowly building, which is good. It is going to take a little bit of time to build that up. If we want to get rid of all that, no, we do not have enough. In fact, we just used it all just then. Okay, so first thing is we're going to design our little train hub here. Which is not that one, it is that one there. Because we're going to start sending all that iron ore over here, and we're going to start making all of our stuff over here. But before we do that, we need to start building it. So let's start building it. So the first thing we're going to need is obviously a train station. Now, if we're going to do this, let's try to build this. We'll leave the gap there so trains can actually go through. So the way I'm thinking of doing this is if we go, so this can be our iron side. We'll have 2 wagons. Yeah, we'll go 2 wagons there. And then on this side, we'll have our copper, which we can also go 2 wagons. And then we're going to set up our next train station here. We'll give it a little bit of space there. We'll chuck one there, and we'll leave the space for the center as well. We chuck that one there. We can chuck our other unit storage or our loose storage modules here, and we can go ahead and place 4 of those. What else do we need? Well, glass. So we're obviously going to need our sand as well. So that can be for glass. And we'll just quickly name these stations. So this is going to be iron. Actually, iron drop-off is what we should say. This is going to be copper drop-off. Okay, and this, we've already named that one. So this is going to be our coal drop-off. And we're going to have our sand drop-off here. Where we at? Drop-off. There we go. Okay, that's what we're going to run with. Then what we're going to do is, in fact, we might have to move this over a little bit more. No, we won't. Will we? No, we won't. So then we can go over here and we can start setting up our storage bins here. So we'll go one there, we can go one there, and one there. Okay, so let's set this up. So this is going to be our iron. It's going to be an unload. We will copy that and run that through there. This is going to be copper to unload. In fact, we'll just quickly mark all these out. Coal for unload and our sand. Oop. Well, we're always getting 2 S's. Sand. Okay. So we'll copy this here and run it down there. Same thing here. Run that one down there and the same thing here. Like so. Okay, dokie. Now, obviously, we're going to have our other train lines going through the center, so let's just quickly get that track built. Straight through the center, like so. So that way, if they're not actually stopping here, they can just go through here. Okay, we can also set the directions for this one as well. Definitely not that way. Definitely not that way. That one's got to go that way, and that's got to go that way. Cool. So that's those set up. Now, we've got to now connect these up to our storage bins here. Now, we do have one more upgrade for our storage bins, which will then obviously be able to hold a little bit more stuff here. So, let's go ahead and start getting this stuff connected. Now, what we can do is, yeah, we're going to have trucks running under here most likely. So, actually, that is a very good idea. We might actually have trucks running under here. So what we might do, or around here, what we might do is might grab ourselves one of these new ramp pieces and run it something like that. Look at that. Doesn't that look amazing? Definitely a lot better than those other ones. Actually, I don't even think we can get those old ones anymore. These are the new deal. So I'm not going to go ahead and change all the other ones. They're already in line. There is no point in changing those. So These ones here are fine. We can run these straight underneath this bridge, but the other ones we're going to actually go up and over the top. So that can connect up to the iron there. Where is that next pass? There. So we can run that straight to there. We should be right with only having the 2 belts on that because it does transfer in between. So that should be fine. We got a stuck truck here now, so let's just recover him because he got himself all stuck there. We do need concrete, so we'll just quick build the rest of these like so. There we go. How good does that look? Any sort of truck can go on that. That's huge. Ain't nothing going to get stuck there. And we've also got, I think it's a 3 high, or is it? No, it's a 2 high. But yeah, we got so much more space underneath, and they do look a lot cleaner. So that's pretty cool as well. Now for this side here, we're going to need some U-shaped lifts. Run it all the way up to the highest it can go. And maybe I'm not actually going to be able to get that track piece to run there. Let's just quickly remove it just to see if that is the case or not. Yeah, so we definitely can't have that middle piece, which is fine because we can always set a new way straight in through here. So that's not a problem at all. So copper is the next one here. So we're just going to run these in straight lines. Probably run this one straight here as well. Okay, we can grab our U-shaped lift, rotate it around, flip it around, and build 2 of those. Yeah, next ones are going to be over here. So what we're going to do before we even do anything else here is we're going to replace our rail down. So we're just going to have one straight in the center, I think. That's probably going to be the best alternative for that. Because I don't think we're going to get 2 side by side. So I'm pretty sure when these first come out, they actually need a support. Even though I would have thought that would have been the support, the actual elevator. But yeah, they do need that extra support there. So we'll run that there. Next one's going to be our coal. So let's go ahead and build that one. Rotate that around as high as it will go. We'll get 2 of those going. In fact, we probably could just copy these as well. Not going to be an issue. Then we'll run these along the top here. These are going to have to move a bit. That is in a straight line, so let's try and keep that in a straight line. Because we can always move it on the other side there. Oh, no thank you. We'll go ahead and do these ones as well. Oh yeah, I've got to get rid of this, hey, because it doesn't like that apparently. Let's try that again, shall we? Right, that can go to... Actually, you know what? We'll do it. From there to there. And I guess we could run this in between them. I don't see why we can't. And then what we can do is we can actually just copy and paste all of these down here. Not an issue. Alright, so this needs to plug into there, and this one needs to plug into there. So that fits in between there perfectly. Now, these ones here, we're going to have to do something a little bit different. We're going to have to run these up a little bit. Hasn't given us enough room to... Hmm. Well, you know what? Since we can go too high with that other one, let's go ahead and do that real quick. We'll make this the same, but we'll go one up. And we'll just go along the top of this until we can connect up to that. Yep, that works. I'm happy with that. Whoa, I did not know. Trucks are actually driving under there. Hang on a second. Give me a quick look at that. The trucks are actually driving under. I didn't think those trucks would fit under there, but yeah, they do. Oh, there's plenty of room. That's cool. So we can actually build like a proper sort of overpass now with these. Obviously, if we built our ground a little bit lower as well, um, we could probably most likely allow our bigger vehicles to go underneath. Maybe. Who knows? Anyway, there's our big train with some rock. And we are slowly destroying this with all of its pieces. Now, I'm going to say we probably ran out of rubber, which is why they've stopped. So we'll go ahead and just quick build all of those. Even though we should have some rubber on its way over somewhere. Actually, I have no clue exactly where it picked up that rubber from because we're not importing it anywhere over here. So that is quite strange. We can see our maintenance is still slowly building up, which is not bad. Okay, so our next plan of attack here is our next one here. That is not looking too good. So let's go ahead and just destroy that one. We'll run our belt first. Now we can go up here in between this gap and something like that. And then we can go ahead and just copy that one and chuck that in there. Make sure it's not connected at all. Yeah, you're not going to want to be nice, are you? Yep, that works for me. We'll get those ones quick built, and we'll get that quick built as well. So that is so far all of our main materials that we need, train-wise anyway. So what we can go ahead and do is actually go and link these up. So we'll have to say that that is iron ore. Which, you know what, we actually don't really need to do that because once the ore goes in there, it will actually sort itself out. So that's coal. And this one here is our sand. Now, obviously we're going to need more, which is why I've left some more space over here to build some more rails over here. Hey mate, how's it going? Glad you could make it. Yeah, so plan is we're currently just making the refinery now, our new refinery over here with trains. So stay tuned, man, because it's going to get pretty crazy very quickly with belts and trains and new networks. So our plan is we need to figure out how we're going to connect these rails up efficiently, because if we don't, it's probably going to be some issues, and because it's going to split as well. So I'm thinking if we try and aim for the middle here, well, that was definitely not the middle at all. Let's try, that wasn't either. Let's try that one. Nope, one over, there it is. Ding, got it. Okay. Now, if we have a split like so there, and then way back here we have another split. Actually, if we have a split there, then that means we could probably split off here. Oh, no, it does not like that at all. There we go. Perfect. That's the way it goes. So, we've actually somehow got a truck stuck underneath our bridge. How did you manage to get stuck under there? Am I going to be able to get you? Yep, I can just. Man, these are some crazy drivers in this game. Um, okay. So that's for those ones. We are going to need one for acid and limestone as well. That's going to be... There's always more, isn't there? Always. We also need to connect up to here. So let's go ahead and just get that one connected up like so. Nice, clean, simple paths there. And before we do actually cut all of this off, let's go ahead and just chuck in a level crossing here. We'll chuck in a large one. Is that what I'm after? No, that is what I'm after. No, that is what I'm after. Yeah, that is exactly what I'm after, isn't it? Yeah, that is definitely. Okay. So let's go ahead and put a large level crossing on that side there. We'll rotate this around and chuck that one on there. We'll go ahead and just quick build those. Plan is, once we do get some concrete, I think we're going to pave this whole area too. Saves on maintenance of our vehicles, I believe. If we have a look here. Yeah, maintenance 20%. Yeah, so saves all of that for us. So that'd be pretty good there. Okay. Where we're going to connect this up? Probably over here. But I'm thinking we're probably going to make... How do these connect up? So they go around that way and through there. So we'll make it go... If we can get it to connect up somewhere here, that works in a relatively straight line. And then we'll get it to build at max height there. Oh, that is not going to work at all. You have to go something like that. Probably go 5 high. And then start curving it around, I guess. There we go. That works. That way, vehicles still have access to all of their... we'll let them build that themselves. And to connect that back up, I'm probably thinking we just connect up here somewhere. We'll go over the top of this. And we'll probably do a tight U-turn, I'm thinking. We still obviously have more coming out of here. Like our limestone, we've got our acid as well. And a couple of other things. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's set up that rail. So we set up our middle piece as this one here. So we're going to give it a bit of straight here as we go ahead and connect everything else up to it. Connect that one up. And then for here, make it so it's not a overly tight turn. What is that about? There we go. I guess we're going to have to make it as a little bit of a tight turn. Not the end of the world. But we can get that connect up like that. Cool. Right, so now let's go ahead and build our bridge here to go up and hopefully over all of this. Absolutely we can. We'll get it to curve around onto itself here. That is a janky bit of track there. I do not like that at all. There we go. It's a little bit better. It should be able to... Maybe we have to come a little bit more off of it. Or can we not connect up to... Oh yeah, we can. Absolutely we can. There we go. That's going to take a little bit of rail, and I'm surprised it doesn't actually take concrete either. It just takes the tracks and gravel. Now we are definitely chewing into our gravel. And I'm going to say over here is probably having a pretty hard time with it. Yeah. Look, we have a lot of unity. Let's go ahead and just boost these two. That way we're still constantly producing that. Because we really do need to keep that running. Go ahead and upgrade these belts as well. Even though they're not really struggling, probably does help just that. Oh, sorry about that. Just to have that there. Okay, so our sulfur's looking a lot good, a lot better now. Even though we have stopped taking it, it is a lot lower. So that is definitely a good thing there. And we can see we've also got our boosted coal there, which our vehicles should be able to take from. Looks like they've already taken from there, and I presume they've taken from here. Maybe. Yeah, they have, because we can see that that's not 100%. It's not even an even number. So we can go ahead and just destroy all of those. There's absolutely no need for them there. How is all of our oils looking and stuff? So far it looks like it is running fairly well. Our water's looking really good too. So is our power. We're not having any power surges, surprisingly. So let's go back over here now. So the first thing we're going to be doing is obviously our iron. So we're going to make sure, I'm not too worried about building these things compact anymore. We've got all the space in the world over here, and especially once we start clearing a bit more. And we're going to be utilizing trains, so everything's going to be a lot more efficient than obviously taking by truckloads. And once we start clearing off a bit of here, it should sort itself out. And once we start moving some more trucks over here, it will bring itself pretty smoothly and keep everything running. So, where are we at? We got there, rock. Hmm. Yeah, okay. So, since that is theoretically connected up to the grid, let's go ahead and just add those to the new network here. Okay, we should see that doing its thing now. We probably could start taking out a bit more iron here since we're going to start transporting it over there. In fact, we might... Oh, that's a bit tender. In fact, we might even just start plugging some of this stuff in. So let's go ahead and change a little bit. Actually, we won't change it there in case trains need to turn around. We'll keep that there. And we'll go ahead and build a new station just over here. Loose storage. Need to rotate that around. And we'll go 4 there. Gonna flip these around. We'll go the 4 here. Actually, we'll give it a little bit of space there. Put that rail in between. In fact, we might even give it just a touch more space just to make sure we can fit a thing in there. And then we'll go ahead and flip these around. Make sure we got a bit of space there. And we can do the same thing here. Make sure that we've got space there. We'll go ahead and add all of our train stations in. If we add them the right way, of course. We can do these two first, and then we'll do these two here. Okay, those should be getting built. We will then change the directions here. How do we want to do this? Do we want them to go straight back out? I'm thinking probably so. Probably work out a lot better if we did it that way. So if we were to build a straight from here, run it down here so we do have that little bit of space. We'll do a bit of a tight U-turn there. In fact, we'll just connect one up there. We'll connect our other one up. Why do these never want to work half the time? There we go. I can't really see with all this stuff, so let's just go ahead and clear that. There we go. Now we can actually see it. Okay, tracks. Let's go ahead and start it all the way over here just to make sure we absolutely do reach that. And we'll pull a piece of track off to run up no side there. I mean, if a train's coming this way, they obviously have a reason to go this way, so I don't feel like we need to really change that at all. But let's go ahead and just add in our exit route. This always wants to do the most jankiest stuff. We'll connect those up like so. Now, we probably need to, actually, before we keep on going here, let's go ahead and build in our crossing here. That way the vehicles can get to and from. So we need one there, and we need that other one there. Okay. So, now that we've done all that, we're going to let that just do its thing as it builds. So I'm thinking we're probably going to put another big ore sorter over here to sort out the resources as they go along. Even though I've actually put these on the wrong end. That should still work, theoretically, because that there covers that whole thing there. So that should be fine. Just because it's there, it doesn't really matter. So we're going to say that this is the iron pickup. We'll say this one is the copper pickup. If I can spell copper correctly. This can be our, what do we got? We got coal. And we've got our sand. There we go. So that's all those. They're going to work along and do their thing, hopefully nice and quickly. In fact, let's just quick build it. I'm not here to wait around. I can be quite impatient sometimes. Okay, so let's set this up. So this is to unload iron. do the same thing as we did before. This is to unload copper. This is to unload coal. And this is to unload sand. There we go. Okay, so now we'll grab ourselves a big ore sorter. Probably not going to be able to get it exactly where I want it. Oh, well, it will go there though. I think that's a good spot for it. Actually, I lied. That's not going to be a good spot for it. Because we obviously have that going to be an issue. Alright, so let's just see how close are we actually. We're so close, in fact. We are so close yet so far. So let's go ahead and just demolish that whole rail there. Go ahead and just copy that again. Actually, we won't copy that because we will probably find we're going to have an issue if we copy that. So let's go ahead and get this in here. We need to leave a gap of 2. So that there should be fine. We should still be able to get trucks along there. I'm hoping. And then we'll grab our rail back and connect that. Oh, that could actually be a bit tight. Let's just go ahead and just quick build that and see. Yeah, they're not going to be able to make that. Oh, why did I think that was going to be an issue? And it definitely proved to be one. Okay. Stop building that. Actually. Why can't we build that there and in fact make this like just a bridge? Why can't we make that a bridge? We won't need that there. So let's go ahead and just remove all of this again. Let's remove it up to that point there. We'll just quick remove all of that there. Okay, so we'll grab our ore sorting plant and we can chuck it about there. Give us plenty of room. We won't have to worry about that then. Go ahead and build our rail up. These are going to be empty carriages, so can build this fairly tight here. We'll do something like that. That way they still have the access there. What are we playing with here? I don't know what I'm pushing. Oh, okay. I see. I do see what I'm pushing now. Let's bring that down to ground level. And that looks like it connects up to there beautifully. Let's go ahead and quick build that. I think we'll just let our trucks build this for now. But while we do program this, let's have a look. So A, I believe, is this side. If we just have a select a product. Oh, we've got no products in here. So let's go iron. Yeah. do we want to do this or actually no? Because when we move pit from pit, yeah, let's not worry about doing the crushing. Because I was just thinking, what about if we did crushing here? Now we could theoretically do the crushing here, but when we do get through this iron and we look at new alternatives like here or over here or wherever, I think that's iron. Yeah, that's iron. Then all of our crushing over here would then have to move over there. So if we just set up the crushing in one place and we just train it here and out. Okay, so that's been set up as A. Seem to be losing unity again. Why are we losing unity again? No active diseases. Our health is pretty good. Our air pollution is even better. Why are we only generating 6? We have a water shortage. Okie dokie. Let's go and have a look at that. Well, we have a water shortage because we have our wastewater full. Okay. So, for some reason, we filled that sludge up extremely quick. Extremely quick. Quicker than I thought we are going to fill that up. And it's only been an hour and a half. So, that was really quick, actually. So, we're going to need, for solid, yeah, we need this. This is what we need. I don't see us taking chlorine from anywhere else, so we can probably run that one there and run that one there. Go ahead and chuck the sludge into there. We can select our recipe. We're going to get compost and fuel gas. The fuel gas is fine. We can definitely burn that over here. That is not going to be an issue. We can definitely fill this up here. Compost, on the other hand, we're going to need a bin for that. So let's go ahead and chuck that in facing this way. And we should be able to just go one in front and connect up into there. The fuel gas, we'll run it sort of quickly. Yeah, that works. That did backtrack itself, so I don't really like that. But we do need it to go into there. But need to go in there a little bit better than what we just got. You want to go to that side? You know what? You can go to that side. I'm not playing games with you. We are going to have to modify these pillars though. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. We can take that one out. And I'm just wondering if I put that there, I can... How far can I go? Not that far. Okay, that's left that all nice and open for us. Now we can unpause the time and just go ahead and quick build these. Just to get things moving as quick as we can. Oh, we are definitely running out really quick. Alright, are these things running? They are. They are going to take a chunk of time to get going. We produce 36, these are consuming double that, so hopefully we can definitely sort that out. And we only get 6 compost, so we will be consuming a good chunk of that sludge, turning it into compost. Now, we should start getting water in there, which there is. Now, I don't want to boost this because, you know what, let's boost it just to try and help get rid of all of that. Try and get rid of all of that, including the water there as well. That would be a big thing. Now, why have we got no potatoes down here? Interesting. Why do we have no potatoes? You have access to that. Why are you not bringing potatoes? Or vegetables? Are you that busy again? Let's have a look at zones here. Oh, they're all fairly busy. Assigned to mining. So we have a lot of trucks assigned to mining. Let's go ahead and just take 2 trucks from there, make themselves free. We'll take a couple trucks from there. Do we have trucks waiting around here? We don't really. But let's go ahead and take a few more from there. That should hopefully help catch everything back up, which it does appear to be. Okay. Yes, we're getting that down. We can actually just unboost that now. But yeah, we're definitely taking a big hit with that. The only thing I'm worried about is how quick are we going to build that up? And should we be looking at that contract and getting it done? It's probably another big thing as well. But I'm not going to look at that just yet. Go back over here. Just finish that off because there's only 2 pieces left in that. Actually, probably should finish this first. We don't have enough steel. Okay. We got plenty of rock in there. We do have a lot of iron sitting there as well. Actually, all of our trucks have just finished up there. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and well, we should probably first maybe edit this area. There we go. Let's go ahead and do that. But now listen, because I don't want yous to go all the way up there to take out that. So yous need to relax. So I can add a pin into there and move the pin. Yeah, okay. So I know we currently have iron there. What we're actually going to do is we're going to move this whole thing over. Yeah, we're going to move this whole thing over just a touch. We'll go ahead and shrink it a little bit because we don't need really that much room. And we're going to get them to start working way, way, way back here. So we'll go ahead and just get them to start cutting into this stuff here. That should be enough for them. And where are you guys heading? Because I'm going to change this up now. We're going to start chopping into there like so. Oh, there we go. Couple excavators are on that straight away. In fact, we can probably do that one there as well. And we can probably cut back to there. We'll also adjust this one accordingly to say something like that there. And we'll backtrack that just a touch. Okay. And then whatever's in this area, actually I've got to be careful I don't take out that ramp because that is a long trip if they do need to go up there. Which I don't obviously seem to be going. Look at that big old truck snake as they split off there. You know, it's probably not an issue if they go up there. They're going to be mining iron. They're going to be mining rock. Probably not a big issue. But in saying that, probably don't need iron in this one because we can probably use it from over here. Hey, Naven Ridge, how you going, man? Thank you for watching. I hope you're enjoying the content as much as I am recording it. But welcome to the live, man. Hope you're having a good time. Um, so we can probably not use this for iron. If we change this around and instead of accepting iron into here, we accept the coal, we accept the copper, we accept sand, and if we accept, probably won't set it for limestone just yet, just because we haven't got a rail set up yet for it. Maybe we can do that once we clear this up and give it a bit of room. Hopefully that would be the plan. Okay. Thanks, man, for watching. 10 episodes. You still got 20 more. I'd like to say sorry about the audio quality in the first episodes. As you probably noticed now, I've got a new mic which starts clearing up once once I get through it all. I don't remember exactly what episode it does get better, but I'm glad you're still watching, man. Thank you. It does mean a lot. Okay, so we got the sand, we got the copper, we got the coal. Let's go ahead and mark these out here. So let's just clear those so we know A is on this side here. So we'll clear that from there. We'll start from the other side here. Sand is the furthest, I think. Yeah, so sand is the furthest. We'll make 2 for that. Then we'll make 2 for coal. We will go 2 for copper. And we will leave the iron for now since we got so much iron over here. The plan is to probably get past it. Just to be honest, man, I didn't know there was such a thing as a volume booster. But yeah, okay. Sick. Yeah, I actually had no clue there was such a thing. But yeah, the audio quality is a lot better now with this new mic as well. What do we got? He's loading up his last bit of rock there. Look at those lines moving. They are moving. We can see we got no steel, we got no copper. What is going on over here? Why have you got no copper? Because the exhaust gases are full. Okay, let's have a look. I'm going to say, why is exhaust gas full? Seem to be pushing it pretty hard. Seems like we're having an issue getting that low steam out. Let's go ahead and have a look. Do we have a bigger cooling tower yet? No, not yet. That is not a problem. So we can just add in a couple more of these towers here. In fact, we can rotate them around and we can do something like that. Now, where's that steam coming from? It is coming from over here. Looks like we are going to actually have to run it around, which is not a problem. Vehicles aren't going through here anyway, so that is not a problem at all. We can go ahead and just quick build all of that. That should solve that problem with all of that. I mean, we're able to get 900 out, so this is it's going slowly, but it is going up. Answer for YouTube. Extension for Firefox. Yeah, okay. That's cool, man. Now we're full on water, actually, because we didn't have this thing built up. Where are we looking at here? Get that thrown in there. Now it's working. Now if we need to, we can boost these, but I'm trying not to boost, but I'm trying to regenerate as much water as possible, even though we're getting water for free. Why are vehicles not able to get into there? Probably because whatever is going on with this contraption that I've got set up here. Uh, okay. Um, let's go ahead and remove it to that point there. Just do that real quick. Now we should see trucks able to drop off coal there. Oh, they were going this way. And why can't you just go this way? I'm going to say probably because some of these pillars are blocking them. So let's go ahead and fix some of these up. There we go. We've got one random pillar there that can disappear. Now they should have access to go down here. Probably not in through there thinking of it. Because we've got that pillar there. So let's go ahead and see if we can just remove that one really quick as well. What is that? That's that one. There we go. We can remove it there. In fact, we can remove that one as well. Let's go ahead and see if that fixes the problem. It absolutely has. They can get through, they can get in, they can get out. Okay, cool. But what is going on here? We need to make this higher. Yeah, you know what? You want to connect up to there? Go ahead, connect up to there. I don't know exactly where that goes. I should probably have a look before I've plugged that in there. Oh, that's fine. That's going into our burners for our stuff here, so that is fine. Looks like we're burning a lot of heavy oil now, so that's going to not help with our air pollution. It's not overly bad compared to, say, like our exhaust, but it is obviously a little bit. Air pollution is back up to 5, but in saying that, it isn't the worst that it has been, that's for sure. Okay, so that should have sorted that problem out. See, everything's dissipating pretty quickly now. Definitely getting a hang of everything here. But yeah, look at all that sulfur going through. We are generating heaps of sulfur now. Especially between sour water, because that is still producing, I believe. No, it's not, because our ammonia is full. Alright. Fertilizer, how's that going? It's going alright. All of these seem to be pretty well topped up. So they're running pretty good. No issues there. Alright, now the one thing I'm worried about is when they start taking out mountains, that is a, if we have a look at that, that is a tall mountain we're about to take out. And you can only imagine when we get down to this level, how tall that is compared to a vehicle. There is a button here, and I probably shouldn't click too many buttons because I'll probably end up doing something I don't want to do. So let's not do that. Let's go ahead and build this ore sorting plant here. Now, we don't really have a... Oh, we've already got rock and dirt being thrown into here as well. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Which I should have been thinking about. But I don't know, where did all this stuff just come from? These trucks decide they're just going to start throwing this stuff in here, are they? Well, I guess they're not really marked, so I guess it's not really an issue. Now they're dropping off iron ore. Okay, so let's get rid of this auto-assign stuff. We're not after that. Get on out of here. Okay, so... Yeah, so they're going to keep... What have you got? What have you got that I don't want? Oh, you were bringing iron ore into here, weren't you? Yeah. So I don't want you to bring iron ore into here. And yous were going to bring limestone into here too. Okay, that was going to be horrific. You can bring that over here. Because you've only got, what, stone? The dirt gets sifted out here anyway, so it's not an issue. But the rock, we're not going to be able to do anything about the rock or the dirt, so we're just going to have to send it down here. But the rock is probably going to be a pretty big issue, but we will work that out as we get there. So let's go ahead and make some conveyors over here for this. Where are they at? In here. That is what I'm after. No, that's not what I'm after. I'm after these. So we're going to build a whole row of these. For that, we need, and looking at it, so it goes sand, coal, copper. Okay, so that's not the problem. Yeah, we should be able to... was that sand? Yeah, that's sand. We should be able to run these straight across here, which we absolutely can. That is terrific. We'll give it... no, we can run that. We'll run them in the middle, I think. Only because it's going to work out more beneficial to run the two of them in the middle, I think, than to run them the other way. So we'll run that one there. And we'll run the other one just below it. Not like that. There we go. Ah, you didn't want to connect up to there. There we go. Jeez. Okay, we can go ahead. What was that? We should probably be looking at this. No available places. There's some areas here out of the mine zone. Well, yeah, we know that. We will sort that out as it comes. Cargo depot has no module. That is fine. Whoa, what is going to collapse here? Oh. Oh, okay. User obviously trying to level that out still. Interesting. Hopefully that doesn't collapse. Nothing that we can't rebuild if need be. Let's go ahead and build our second one here. And probably run it to there and then down underneath there. Oh, you're going to be a nuisance, aren't you? You are. Okay, flip that around. Connect on up into there. These all need to be load, not unload. That will probably help with that. There we go. Okay, the next one, which is our coal. So we'll go back one. We'll do the same thing. We'll run this in the middle here. So we'll go one there. And then our next one. And go the one under to there. Just get rid of that. That's the same height, and then we'll go ahead and grab another one and chuck that in there like so. Not like that. Okay, and then the next tiers we're going to have a little bit lower. So we got copper. So we can run copper down to, in fact, we might just have to, oh, look at that. We can actually run these that high, which I don't really like, if I'm going to be honest. We can run that a lot closer. There we go. Run this one to here. And then we can run this probably one down as well. Probably have to come back a little bit further. And this one is going to plug into here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and grab our U-shaped lifts. That's perfect there. And that's perfect there. Okay. So that's all of those connected up now. So for the rock and everything else here, so we need to get the iron over here and the rock back. Okay. So give me 1 second here, just checking something on my phone. Making sure my internet's keeping up. I'm getting a new internet plan so I can stream a lot more. So expect the quality to be a lot better as well when I do stream. Just trying to get it all set up first before I do start getting into that. Once I do have this better internet, we won't have this sort of poor quality and that stuff. We should always have good quality. But yeah. I guess it's time to say it is only 11 hours until our giveaway shuts as well. Actually, it's just under. We got 10 hours and 45 minutes into our giveaway shuts. So I hope all of you guys who are in it are excited. I hope you are all in it. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. And I can't wait. Which is probably a good point that I should probably go to bed at some point. That way I do get up. So you guys do have that live stream. The live is going to be at, I'm going to try and set it up for, I'd say probably 10 to 2 in Australian Eastern Standard Time, which it is currently 1:18 in the morning for me. But yeah, do stay tuned for that and keep an eye out for that next stream, because I will be doing it live. There will also be a video as well about it. And I possibly might be streaming it on Discord at the same time. So we'll see how all of that goes. Not 100% sure yet on Discord, but if he's a part of it, yeah, go for it. If it's up there, I'm not, like I said, I'm not 100% sure, but I'll see how things are going. Okay, so we've got our stone and we've got our dirt to get rid of. So let's go ahead and grab our 2 storage bins here, just to use as a buffer. We'll give it a little bit of space so we can so we can get the iron through. We'll set this as the dirt. Where is that? There it is there. We can add that, and we'll add the other one as our stone. It's called rock, actually. That's why I can't see it there. So we can go ahead and set this for the... where are we at here? we've already got rock on here. What am I doing? So rock can be A, and it can also be B. We'll have this dirt as C and dirt as D. So I have to run this sort of in a gap here. So this is dirt. So this one, I'll run it a little bit tighter than that. And we'll grab ourselves a U-shaped lift for this one. That way we can run it across the top here. Like so. And then for our rock, we can go one up there and we'll go two up here. And we'll go ahead and run these straight across here. In fact, we'll give it a little bit of space so that way we can put a U-shaped lift into there. Hello. There we go. And we'll run that one to there. There we go. Yeah, these also do connect automatically even if I do overshoot it, so they fix themselves up. So perfect. Alright. Now we've got that, we need to get the iron over here. Is this even running yet? It is not. That's because you got limestone and all sorts of other stuff. We are going to eventually need limestone, but I don't want to bring the limestone over here until I'm absolutely ready. And we're probably going to have to make some more stations for it too. So until we're ready to get that going, we probably won't just yet. There's definitely no room to get tracks in there, that's for sure. But yeah, once these are full and these are constantly running, they'll look really cool. For our iron, we can see that we've maxed out our iron. In fact, we've got even so much iron in there that it is crazy. Okay, we're just going to run these straight. How's that going to go? Oh, that could be probably a little bit too tight for it. Potentially. It does reckon it will get over it, so we can definitely still run that. We can run this. We'll keep it this high until we hit this point here. And then we'll take it straight down on the ground. So that's going to be that one. And then for the second one, we'll get this straight up as well. We'll go in beside that one. Now I should be able to get that to, yep, so that go up and over. So that is fine. And we can get that to connect up to there like so. Beautiful. So that's going to be our iron ore, and that should start running out of there straight away. All right. So it looks like we've actually taken a good chunk out of this already, which is pretty sweet. You can see they're all dropping all the iron off. We can see the iron lines running into the station here. as it is all slowly filling up. And as we get faster belts, these will work a lot quicker as well. Now it is going to take a little bit of time to get these moving here, but once they do, it will be pretty sweet. We can go ahead and add all these stations onto here. I believe that added them all on there. Coal drop off, coal pickup, iron, and sand so far. Yeah, cool. What we're also going to do is, since this one here shouldn't be automatic, no. We're going to change all of these. So we're actually going to unassign all of these on here. And we'll do the same thing here. We'll unassign those because we want stuff to be bringing over here as we start transitioning to the new stuff and the new trains. You can see here we've already got something. Oh yeah, he only just clears that. Wow. So we're going to have to make a few trains that are 2 carriage long. So let's go ahead and queue up some of those. Where's our station? Here. We actually do have a train currently being made. So let's go ahead and just cancel that. We're going to grab a new train. We're going to make these. We'll make these diesel. And we'll chuck these on network 1. We'll get that one built. And we're going to create a few of those. Now we're not going to be able to probably make all of them, since we're not bringing the stuff over here that we need for all of them. But that should hopefully sort itself out. We'll just get this one done and then we'll quick build the next one as well. There we go. So we'll get that one done. Okay. Now we can see copper's being brought over here. We're going to see all of our trucks extremely busy. He's going straight for this iron here. He reckons he's picking up all of it with just the 2 carriages. We've got our next train already queued up to go and drop stuff over as well, which is a good sign. He's going straight for the coal. Now I would like to have storages here, but that isn't really going to be, not really going to be able to sort something out for that. Now, what we could do is, thankfully he's not coming over here to go in there. What we can do is we can go ahead and grab these waypoints here, and since they have that new system, we can set what is allowed and what's not. So we're going to say on the train length, let's go and have a look quickly at what our train lengths are. I want to edit in line manager. I want to create a new train. We can see that it is 25 tiles long. So let's go over here and change this around to under 25. We'll say 30 just to play it safe. We'll say 30 tiles. And we should see that no train should go through there unless that becomes a thing. It'd be really cool if we actually had, like, which I presume they might do in an update, actual writing on these, which would be really cool to see. I'd be pretty happy to see that. We can see that our iron is already full. In fact, what we might do is with this one station here, you might just add that one onto there as well as that, just so trains can see that there is plenty of iron there for them to pick up because that's going to be our main thing, um, making steel and copper are going to be our most common things. Our glass isn't going to be a very big thing just yet, but it will be when we start making solar panels. Um, Now, definitely see vehicles are bringing stuff over here for us, but it is a long trip for all of them as well. We got to keep that in mind. Okay, so that's our railway system. Um, what has happened to you? Why can't you get over there? Oh, I set that as deny. So we're going to say equal to over. There we go. That is fixed up. There's our two new trains that we've got. They're going to go and do their things. We're going to purchase our next train or use Unity to build our next one. We can see they're all going to come over here and split up. He's going over here to collect some rock. He's going over here to collect some rock. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up another waypoint here. Set. Oh, sorry about that little crash there. I don't know what happened, but yeah. I'll just give everything a second just so it can catch up here. Because I think there's a little bit too much going on for it to catch up. Alright, so we'll just give it a hot second just to do its thing. Yeah, it seems like my internet has had a little bit of a downfall there. Like I did say, I am getting newer internet soon, and this is a very demanding game on my GPU as well as everything else. It is a very demanding game on visuals, and especially when we got factories this big here, it does make it very hard to be able to do anything. In fact, let me just quickly go here and say, let's just say high performance. That should help everything. Yes, the qualities are going to change, but at least you guys should have some better